Planet Dolan.
From peeing somebody else's pants to being accused of armed robbery, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about things we got blamed for but didn't do. Part 2. I'm Melissa, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by Aquile7. When Dolan was in kindergarten, he was sitting by himself one day, minding his own business and generally being pretty quiet. A girl walked over to Dolan, staring at him. He asked her what she wanted, but she just kept staring at him. Suddenly, her pants were covered in pee. A teacher walked over and asked what was going on. Before Dolan could say anything, the girl yelled, "He peed in my pants!" The teacher looked disgusted and sent Dolan to timeout. He sat there, baffled, unsure of why the teacher believed he actually peed someone else's pants. Number 9 was submitted by Hannah GS. When Nixium was 10 years old, he shared a laptop with his brother. One day, he excitedly grabbed the laptop off his brother to show his mom something really interesting. His face froze at what came on the screen. Porn. Hardcore porn. His mom and dad looked at him with disgusted shock, while he tried to tell them it wasn't him who was watching it. They didn't believe him, and needless to say, he was banned from using the laptop for a month. Number 8 was submitted by the Best Pyro. When Zara Ganbo was in 3rd grade, he was walking to class, but got lost because he had a terrible memory. He accidentally ended up in the 8th grade hallway, where he saw someone smoking. Being the innocent kid he was, he asked what they were doing. The 8th grader said, "Oh, nothing. Hey, can you hold this? I have to do something." Zara Ganbo said, "Sure," and took the cigarette in his hand. He was holding it for so long he got bored and tried to look for him, but a teacher found him walking around with a cigarette instead, and he got suspended for 2 months. He didn't even know what smoking was. Number 7 was submitted by KittyCatMint. When Gooby was little, she was wrongly blamed for destroying her sister Snoopy's birthday cake. She got so angry and frustrated over being blamed, and she was forced to wash the floors while her sister got to eat the rest of the cake with her mom and dad. The worst part was, she got blamed because of crying. Their logic was, you wouldn't be crying if you didn't do it. But she was crying because she was being blamed for something she clearly didn't do. She suspected that Snoopy sabotaged her own cake, but she didn't have any proof. Siblings can be so cruel. Number 6 was submitted by Midnight Scribble. Back when Gurgak was 3 years old, small balls of snot would appear on the walls around his house, and he and his older brother blamed it on an entity known as the Boogie Phantom, even though Gurgak knew it was his brother. Eventually, his parents got sick of it and asked who did it. His brother blamed it on Gurgak, of course. Even though he knew it was him, he suffered in silence as more snot appeared on the wall, and Gurgak was blamed every time. Until finally, his family caught him green-handed, and the mystery of the Boogie Phantom concluded. Number 5 was submitted by PuppyLover29. Emoji's little cousin was spoiled rotten and never got yelled at. One time, when they were playing, his cousin had to poop, and he walked her over to the toilet. Someone was in the bathroom, so instead of waiting, his cousin pulled down her pants and took a big, stinky shit on the floor. She didn't want to get yelled at, so she yelled, "Ew, Emoji, why did you poop on the floor?" She even convinced her parents that Emoji shat in the hallway. He didn't feel like playing with his cousin again after that. Number 4 was submitted by Blue Wizard 121. One day, Sidious was preparing to take a bath in the bathroom when he suddenly saw the floor covered in vomit. It stunk really, really bad, and you could see chunks of vegetables. He ran out of the room, and when his mother went in to use the toilet, she yelled at him. He figured out it must have been his sister's pet dog who puked, because the dog always sneaks into the house. The worst part was when his mom used a frying pan to clean it up. The same pan she used for cooking. Number 3 was submitted by BaconBoss1231. When Pandora was 13, she was friends with some emo kids and metalheads. One time, when she was at a school dance, a mosh pit broke out on the dance floor. While this happened, Pandora and her friends were outside eating pizza and drinking Mountain Dew. Even though they were outside, nowhere near the dance floor, a teacher found them and blamed her for causing a ruckus. They said it was clearly her fault, and she was forced to clean up the gym and got a whole week of detention. Number 2 was submitted by Yuki of Snow. Hellbent once asked a police officer for directions, The cop looked at him and said he looked familiar. Next thing he knew, another police officer arrived, and they asked him to put his hands behind his back and then handcuffed him to a bench. After searching him, they asked if he'd ever robbed a convenience store. He was confused and said, no. He was taken to a jail cell for several hours anyway, until coincidentally, they found the actual guy who robbed the store. They showed him a picture of the culprit, and to his surprise, the thief looked exactly like Hellbent. They apologized and let him go on his way. And for number 1, I'm going to tell you guys about something I was blamed for. When I was about 13, one of my friends came over for a sleepover. We were having a great time, talking, laughing, joking, eating pistachios, orange juice, all the good stuff, while watching some of her favorite TV shows, of course. When it came time for bedtime, I fell asleep, but when I woke up in the morning, I discovered a towel on the floor beside my side of the bed. Underneath the towel was concealed vomit. I'm not even kidding, guys, this actually happened. My friend had not reacted well to the delicious pistachios and orange juice combo, and had puked all over our carpet, and then went to her closet and threw a towel on top of it. But of course my mom thought that it was me, so I got in trouble, grounded for 2 weeks, and my friend and I were not really friends after that again. Huge thanks for all the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the worst way a friend backstabbed you? Let us know in the Reddit page link below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. See you guys soon!
Snuck into an abandoned schoolhouse with his friend Talop. They were looking around when they heard a thump coming from a basement hatch. After they worked up the courage to go down into the basement, they discovered a room full of dusty